Hello guys, welcome to another video. If you remember from our previous episode, we had our trunk when we bought the car filled with junk, trash, mud, sand, and we had several rusty parts that we need to clean before paint or at least do the first treatment, and then we end up cleaning everything nice and got a clean trunk ready to inspect and do a proper treatment. So we started cleaning the rusty parts with a drill and a steel brush and try to clean all the rusty parts one by one. This is just the first treatment. Of course, this boot needs to be painted properly, but at this point, I don't know how much time it will take till we do that general paint. So my main concern now is to clean all these rusty parts and have some kind of protection, treat them properly, get some paint, and then we will see when we will paint the boot in a general way, because most probably it will be the entire car. So I'm using a drill and this manual brush just to clean out the surface rust. I have an amateur background in treating rust in other projects, in other stages of my life. So it wasn't hard for me. I just had to research a little bit of the products available, because technology is always evolving and there are new products to approach this type of treatment. But the first thing is always to clean the best you can. There are including products that you can apply these days direct to the rust. I'm not a fan of that approach. Okay, I think that as much rust as you can clean, it will be better for the final result, and that's what I try to do here. So take all the superficial and big rust as much as you can, and then apply a good product in order to avoid problems in the near future, or maybe even in long periods of many years without the rust coming in. I learned from my father that the rust always comes from the inside. So when you see superficial rust, it means that inside it's probably worse, which was the case here. So when I started to brush under this trim in the rear glass of the car, you see that it's already rusted to a point that have holes on it. After many research, this was the best product I found. It's something to use on several occasions, maybe fences, maybe gates, whatever you want to convert rust. It revealed to be the best product I used in the rust treatment in this car. It's a very good product. It is from a major company called akzonobel. They are the leaders in many chemical and then products regarding paints. Then after cleaning all the rust, we degrease it with a normal solvent. It's important to clean everything. Well, to be honest, first we did a vacuum cleaning of the trunk. We blow it up with a compressor, then we degrease it with the solvent, and after that we had this surface ready to be treated with the Oxirite. The Oxirite is a product that kind of converts rust points into a kind of a phosphate. Here it's hard to reach, but the product will penetrate. You apply it with a normal brush. They recommend to use it from a glass, not from the original package. And then you do it like this with a normal brush. You just try to cover as much as possible from the superficial or small rusty spots to the biggest ones. Of course, that if you have those bigger or where the problem of the rust is more aggravated, then it's better to cover it with a product. And that's what I did. So as you can see me here, I was trying to apply as much as possible. Then you have to wait. I think they recommend 3 hours before painting. So, but you will see that when you apply the product, you see a quick effect, because after some minutes, the rusty points will start to go black. But even so, I only painted these parts in the next day. So you can see here before the Oxirite treatment and after. As you can see, all the bare metal and the rusty parts got black. This means that the chemical reaction was made on the rust and on the bare metal, and now you can paint it directly. Of course, that this is a hidden part of the car and you don't need to sand it, to be with a good painting effect. These are hidden parts of the car, but if you are applying this on more visible way. Of course, you can sand it and then paint it properly. Here, we didn't take the fittings because I wasn't sure back then if you can arrange it at Nissan or in some aftermarket shop. But yeah, then you will see on future episodes that we remove these trims and treated this properly, these holes. You can see here some before and after Oxirite treatment under the trim. All this due to the poor cleaning and maintenance of these hidden parts in any car, so rust will come sooner or later if you don't clean these hidden parts properly. So you can see we have holes, and we also can see from the inside that the rust is penetrating around the fittings, so we need to clean all this and then install new fittings. So on the next day, it's clearly visible the effect of the Oxirite. You can't feel the texture, but I can assure you it's really smooth. So it's not, that rugged surface when you have some rusty areas. It's very smooth. Of course, that if you want to paint it in a visible area, you can sand it and then paint it properly. But we will not do it here because this is an hidden part with carpet. So what I will do is, for now, it's treated. It will stay like this, and then we will have a proper painting of these parts. I don't know when we are, planning what to do here in this limited space. Not sure if we'll paint the car on the street or not yet, but let's see in the future episodes. So as you can see, all the rusty spots are treated, from the smallest ones to the biggest. We have this area under the trim also treated. I will try to look for new fittings at Nissan or aftermarket shop. I'm pretty sure that we can find it. And also these hinges of the trunk cover that were also rusty and are now also protected. We will paint this with spray. And also here on the trunk cover, these parts that I already told you in the previous episode that don't come painted from the factory because they paint the car with the cover already installed. Everything is now prepared and protected for some time. I will just paint these parts because I want to install the trunk cover this day. And here you can see after the first coat of spray painting, we used a very good ink from Leroymerlin. Inks involved so much in the latest years. These guys are selling this Luxens, which is a Leroymerlin brand ink. All these range of inks are really good. They can be applied directly on rust areas, but as I told you before, I'm not fan of this approach. I prefer to clean everything. But even so, they are very good inks that you can easily use. They are cheap, and this was something not achievable in the past because the good inks were not available in spray and they were very expensive. So it's really nice to have all these technologies and good products at an affordable price these days. So I just painted these parts and give it 2 or 3 layers of ink, and in the end I removed the tape. It's not looking good, but then again, all this will be painted properly. The idea now is just to have some kind of protection. Then we installed the boot. I had a little bit of help just, to try to align and see if the boot fits properly. Don't forget that this boot came from another car, from the scrapyard. In this day, we still had time to clean some of the plastics and some of the seats. All this, don't forget, it's kind of, disgusting because the previous owner was not, a fan of hygiene. I couldn't add a car like this on myself, so I'm precisely the opposite. I have a kind of an OCD with having everything properly clean. So this central console, we just soap it with a good APC and then give it a good rinse. This was the one I used, very nice. I bought it in a detail shop, pretty nice and with a very good smell, by the way. So if you want to look for this brand to clean your cars. We also started to dismount the seats, trying to see. We had lots of dust, lots of dirt that's been there for years. I don't know, most probably this was never dismounted since 1989. And under the seats, we have a kind of rusty parts also, but I will leave these for a better treatment in the future. For now, we have lots of work to do. So this is something we will do later. But yeah, as you can see, if you check on the hidden spots, we have lots of things to, at least to clean and to protect from future rust. We did this again with our amazing rainbow cleaning machine with a rainbowmate, which is the small motorized brush, giving a deep cleaning. And you can see here the seat already cleaned, taking some fresh air and drying at the sun. We didn't use any water, but the car was kind of with big moisture inside, and there was a smell of humidity. So we just put the seats in the street to have some fresh air. I'm pretty, happy with the conditions of these seats and with the general condition of the interior, because I saw many Bluebirds during the years when I was searching for a car to buy, with broken things and cigarette burns on the seats. And this car was kind of pristine regarding the interior condition. Here we were deep cleaning I don't know how you guys call this in English, but this part of the back seat. We started by cleaning it without dismounting it, but then we removed it to have better access. And you can see here the difference of the UV ray parts and the hidden parts, but also can see the power nozzle that I already explained. This motorized brush, they revive the carpet in a micro way. There's a deep fiber cleaning and somehow removing the dirt in a deep way. The colors will be kind of revived, but you can see here the difference between the hidden part and the effects of the sun during many years. I started to look also for another rusty parts to clean, these handles of the roof and also these for the tail lights. I improvised here my working bench with you guys can take the idea. It works pretty safe and in a very handy way. You just grab one or two hooks, you put the drill in the table, you just, need to install everything properly, and you will have a kind of cleaning brush. Because when you have a shop with the proper tools, it's okay. It's not my case, unfortunately. I would love to have one. I had one in the past, but not now. So the idea is somehow we need to improvise. So we started cleaning all the rusty parts. Never forget safety, guys. Always wear gloves and goggles to avoid problems. But yeah, the idea here was to clean all the parts. And then in some of them, I used the same ink from Luxon's, Leroymerlin, in a black color. And others, I just used the varnish from them also, which has the same quality. But the idea here, then again, is to remove rust and then protect parts, metallic parts, to avoid having rust again. And here, the bracket from the taillights, which were all kind of affected with rust, because if you see the previous episodes, this trunk was put in water. There was some holes due to the spoiler, and I tried to clean these brackets the best I could. They were saved on time. You can see that some of them are really starting to have serious rust, but yeah, I cleaned everything, and then I just protect them with a good coat of black ink, and they will stay okay for many years to come. The final result was quite satisfactory. All the rust removed. This is one of the parts that was reaching to a hard point, as you can see, but it will be okay with a good coat of black ink, because these parts don't appear. They are under the carpet, so we don't need that good looking finish. But even so, the final result is very satisfying. And then to paint them or to apply the varnish, I just used this system, hanging the parts and then spraying them directly. I also checked what to do, because I had some spare time in the end of the day. What could I clean before dismounting the driller? I saw these brackets from the seats, also these parts that we cannot unfit, and also this central console iron part. So the brackets, I took them off and cleaned them in the same way. The others, I isolate the carpet with tape, and then I applied the Oxirite in order to get rid of the rust. And as you can see, the brackets looked really good. I installed them and give them some varnish so they will not rust again. And in the metallic parts of the central console, as you can see, they turned black. The Oxirite made his job, and the final result is really good. So if you like the channel, subscribe, give the thumbs up to the video if you like, comment. I read all the comments. So stay tuned for the next video, and thank you for watching.